I do think that the most frightening thing for people in investment is those that are in retirement or those that are close to retirement and they see these bumps in the market, and man, their heart sinks. You know, when the market sinks, their heart sinks. Nick Hopwood still with me, certified financial planner, founder, president of Peak Wealth. Again, peakwm.com to find out more. And Nick, so, you know, planning ahead is really important. Something you mentioned in the break that apparently is somewhat new is for small businesses to set up a 401k plan now. Apparently there's a lot of incentive to do that coming from the Biden administration. Can you tell us what you're talking about?
Sure. Well, you know, small business is the backbone of America, and oftentimes there's not a 401k in place or any kind of retirement plan for the hardworking staff and employees. And, you know, maybe there's no plan, maybe there's a simple IRA, but we're talking with people about setting up 401ks, giving yourself a Roth option, giving yourself higher limits, a better matching program. And Uncle Joe is subsidizing. So there are administrative costs that come along with setting up a 401 for small business. We can't use that as an excuse any longer because all the setup costs were getting covered by the feds.
Well, how nice of them. So, you know, when they do that, of course, they're just passing around people's money from one to the other. But if that's the way it's going to work, okay, so 401k set up, Roth options, matching programs. These are all important things to have in place if you're a small business owner, because that's what they get at the big stores, right? That's what the big shops, people that have big jobs, whether they have a government job or a private sector job, a lot of these things are available. If you're running it yourself, you need to look out for your future. That's what you're saying.
Totally agree. You know, if as a small business owner yourself, you are, myself, right, we need to save for our future. There's, you know, no one's looking out for us. But, you know, we need to be the ones looking out for our team as well and give them an easy option for putting money away and provide that match. I think it's really important.
Yeah, provide that match, really important. All right, so something else you mentioned here in the break. You're going on vacation, and it sounds like a lavish vacation, wow, but you said, no, not really. I'm saving money by doing it this way. Tell the folks what you told me in the break, because you get a chance to go out of the country for less money than staying here, which shocked me, but tell them what you said.
Sure. Well, my boy Jack, he's in 8th grade. He likes to go downhill skiing. We were pricing out Colorado and Utah, and I just was really shell-shocked, really sticker-shocked. So I reached out to my friend JJ, who's a travel agent, and she was able to get us set up to a trip this week to Italy, which was like 10% less than going to Colorado or Utah. I've never been to Italy, and I hear good things, so we signed up right away.
In fact, the reason you were able to do that is the flights were more expensive, obviously, and take more time. But you said the hotels were half the price, the lift tickets were half the price, and so at the end of the day, you save money. I mean, this is one of the things you get by doing your homework and making sure that you have everything in front of you, and that's especially important when you're investing and traveling. So what I'm coming around to is one of the things you mentioned is a vacation budget in your retirement plan. Wherever you like to go. If you like to vacation, some people like to travel, some people like to be homebodies, not so much. But if you like to travel, you need to figure that into, okay, I want this much money per month. How much do I need to have to go on vacation once a year, twice a year, whatever it might be, right?
That's right. When we ask people what are their retirement spending goals, people are notoriously underestimating. And so one of the things that we always talk about is vacation. Do you have a retirement goal for travel? And just yesterday, we're meeting with the client, and he retired last year. The travel goal is really high. It's $40,000 a year. And you might think, well, that seems ridiculous, but it's one of their major goals for retirement. And so we built that in for a $40,000 travel budget for the first 15 years of retirement. And it definitely is a challenge to be able to meet that goal. But if you don't talk about it and you don't understand, you know, what your needs are, then the plan could fail.
And look, that's true of a lot of things. My father, for example, had hunting dogs. And so he built in how much it was going to cost him to go bird hunting. That's kind of what he wanted to do. He wanted to go chase pheasant and quail all over the country. So he built that in. That's less expensive than maybe going to Italy. But the point is, what you like to do, how you like your time, and that's true of everything. How do you want to eat? Where do you want to live? How do you want to travel? These are all things that should be considered when you're building a plan for when you're no longer working. I mean, you have to build it all in, or you're going to be surprised and disappointed, right?
Yeah, 100%. When we're talking about, why do people come see us? One of the things that they say is, well, I'm thinking about retirement soon, and I want to make sure we're not going to run out. Or, I'm considering going into a semi-retirement position. I just want to make sure that we can maintain the same lifestyle. And one of the things is, a lot of people don't realize what their cost of living is. And so, it ties right into that prior point. But that's what we're talking about. Every meeting with our clients is, are we able to maintain our lifestyle? What are the costs? And what can the portfolio generate for income?
Yeah. Interesting. Tim just sent me a note. He goes, we're paying $1.69 for Kraft macaroni and cheese, up from where it was 75 cents a year ago. The point that he's making is, if you're going to plan ahead right now, you got to plan with that inflation load on your back. I'll give you the last word here, Nick.
Last word is, let's throw away that Kraft mac and cheese. Let's eat some protein.
There you go. Eat protein. Nick Hopwood, certified financial planner, founder, president of Peak Wealth, peakwm.com. He made the decision to journey here. By the way, for those of you watching it on television, the QR code right there on your screen, you go ahead and click on that. It'll take you right to peakwm.com. Get a second opinion. That's something else that Nick tells us a lot here. It's important. Don't just trust one person. If you're retiring, make sure you get the advice of a couple people, 3 or 4, whatever it takes to make you feel comfortable with your plan going forward. Nick, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, Steve, there's no do-overs in retirement.
That's right. That's right. All right. So thank you for being here, Nick.
Thank you.
All right. So, still to come today, we're going to have Pete Hoekstra with us. Apparently, the Republican National Committee has endorsed Pete Hoekstra as the new chair of the Republican Party in Michigan, where there is a complete upheaval of leadership in the Republican Party. He'll join me live from Florida coming up, as Pete is on his way back to the state of Michigan, and Donald Trump on his way to Michigan for a rally on Saturday where Pete will be. We'll talk more about that as well coming up here on the Steve Gruber Show.